And it was cursed.
And it was cursed. Destroyed their pagan god and everything.
Destroyed their pagan gods and Baals and Imras and stuff come upon these people. But that's not the only thing. The Creator gives us examples of what's going on in these scriptures. Only the priest was to touch this ark. All right? If anyone gonna touch it, it got to be a priest. Now, let's go look at this a little further, brother. Let's go now into 2 Samuel chapter 6. 2 Samuel chapter 6. And this was when King David, he wanted to bring the ark to the place. Because they brought the ark from where David had put it into the temple in Solomon days. But this is when David was bringing it to his city. 6 and verse 1. 2 Samuel 6 and 1.
Again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000.
Yes, sir.
And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baalah of Judah to bring up from thence the ark of God, whose name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts, that dwelleth between the cherubim.
Yes, sir.
And they set the ark of God upon a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, that was in Gibeah. And Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drave the new cart. And they brought it out of the house of Abinadab, which was at Gibeah, accompanying the ark of God. And Ahio went before the ark. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps and on psalteries, and on timbrels and on cornets and on cymbals. And when they came to Nachshon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God.
Why?
And took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah. And God smote him there for his error. And there he died by the ark of God.
There he died. He smote him because of what? His error.
And he was trying to only do something good.
And he was trying to do something good with that ark. Trying to stop it because he thought it was going to fall. But we see that this man was stricken dead when he laid his hands on this instrument that only the house of Levi, if anybody, was going to touch it.
So ain't no way in the world, man, some Menelik could have stole the ark.
No way in the world.
If God is a God who don't change, like he said in the book of Malachi, ain't no way in the world.
Change not.
Change not.
No way in the world. That's nothing like that going to happen. But we see here that vengeance come upon men when they took the ark, right?
That's right.
But he said Menelik stole the ark, right?
That's what he said.
And now let's go way past after Menelik was dead. All right, because he couldn't live too many generations after his father, right?
Right.
So you had many generations of kings after Solomon, right?
Right.
Well, let's go, my brother, into 2 Chronicles, the 35th chapter. Menelik was dead by this time. And let's see what this book of Kings say here. 2 Chronicles 35, and we're just going to read verses 1 through 3. 2 Chronicles 35, 1 through 3. Menelik is dead. All right? Many generations after Solomon and his son. Go ahead and continue.
Verse 1. Moreover, Josiah kept a Passover unto the Lord in Jerusalem. And they killed the Passover on the 14th day of the first month. And he set the priests in their charges, and encouraged them to the service of the house of the Lord. And he said unto the Levites that taught all Israel, which were holy unto the Lord, put the holy ark in the house which Solomon the son of David, king of Israel, did build.
He said, put what?
The ark, the holy ark of the house, into the house which Solomon the king of Israel built.
Go ahead.
And it shall not be a burden upon your shoulders. Serve now the Lord your God and his people Israel.
Now, this is after Menelik dead. It looked like the King Josiah still had the ark in his possession. Somebody messed up. Somebody not telling the truth around here. But I do want to read a record here.
That was the duplicate.
That's what they say, right? Just to defend their doctrine, that was the duplicate. Now, this is a book written. Now, as far as genuine facts, all right, we just dealing with what we have by the record, on record, right?
Right.
Now, on record, this is what the Israelites taught on record. Our fathers taught. Not no Hamites, but this is what our fathers taught on record. The historical record of the Maccabees. In the book of the Apocrypha. 2 Maccabees, chapter 2. And I just want you to read this record for me, brother. 2 Maccabees, chapter 2, verses 1 through 5. 2 Maccabees, chapter 2. Bear with me for a minute. 1 through 5. Now, if we're going to believe a record, I mean, only the Most High know what his ark is. And we just have a record from our fathers. All right? But he knows truly where it is. But notice what this record say.
It is also found in the records that Jeremiah the prophet commanded them that were carried away to take of the fire as it had been signified.
Who was Jeremiah? He was a priest, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He was a priest.
The priest that was in
Judah.
Yeah, was in Judah, outside of Benjamin.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And how that the prophet, having given them the law, charged them not to forget the commandments of the Lord, and that they should not err in their minds when they see images of silver and gold with their ornaments.
Go ahead.
And with other such speeches exhorted he them, that the law should not depart from their hearts. It was also contained in the same writing that the prophet, being warned of God, commanded the tabernacle and the ark to go with him, as he went forth into the mountains where Moses climbed up and saw the heritage of God.
Go ahead.
And when Jeremiah came thither, he found a hollow cave wherein he laid the tabernacle and the ark and the altar of incense, and so stopped the door.
So I'm going to believe this record.
That's right.
Before I'm going to believe Moody record. If anyone had to ask me, well, what do you believe the ark is? I believe that the priest took it and he hid it. Because this was just before that. This was during the time Nebuchadnezzar was coming in and destroying the place.
That's right.
All right. And no one has ever seen a record of it. To believe that Menelik did it is an error unless Josiah got an imposter ark.
That's right.
And that's, I mean, come on.
There's no sacrifice to the
That
Lord.
don't make sense, dude.
That's right.
On a fake ark.
Yeah, they making sacrifices. A priest, still got the Urim and Thummim. They have the priest who's communicating with the Creator, and all of a sudden now, he got the false ark. No. If anybody got the false ark, it's down in Ethiopia.
He made
They
it
got
and
the
took
false
it.
ark.
They even got Poe Indiana Jones looking for the doggone ark.
And even making movies about it, right? This is what we're dealing with, brothers and sisters. That a bunch of folly. And all of this false doctrine came after we was brought into this captivity. Okay? So now, this is the record with the ark that we see. But notice what the Creator also going to say concerning this ark. Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter. Jeremiah chapter 3. Dispel this thing over this ark. Menelik went in there and stole it. Where? People who believe that don't know the order of the priesthood. There was never a priest not in the temple. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Never. They had to keep the candle lights burning all day, didn't they? They never could let the candle lights go out. Nothing like that.
Right.
But people don't understand the order of the Holy Scriptures because they don't know what the Torah is saying. So let's go now into Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 16. This is what the Creator said about it anyway, about this ark. When you get it, go ahead and let's start reading at verse 16. Jeremiah 3 and 16.
And it shall come to pass, when ye be multiplied and increased in the land, in those days, saith the Lord, they shall say no more, the ark of the covenant of the Lord. Neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall that be done any more.
Go ahead.
At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord. And all the nations shall be gathered unto it, to the name of the Lord, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart.
Now, we read the record of Jeremiah just to show that this guy's record is out of line.
Right.
But however, when it comes down to the new covenant with Israel is under now, under Christ, that it's a whole new ark. It's a whole new holy temple that has been created here.
Right.
That we deal with in other teachings. He said this the ark that Moses built, which had his own glory, but it's not to be in compared to glory under this new covenant.
That's right.
That, look, no man gonna even mention this no more. Like, you're not gonna remember the days of Egypt no more that we read in the other part. You're gonna remember when Israel was being brought from the north country and all countries where we have been scattered. So we're not even gonna remember it anymore. So it's no use of making a big fuss on who got it. There's no use of even these guys standing down here at a rock saying that they guard this ark. For what? What verse you stop at?
That was verse 17. I stopped at 18.
All right, now we're just going to move on now. I want to go into Haile Selassie because that's another thing that the Rastafarians hold in common. Besides the ark, besides Ethiopia being changed, they also have this thing about Haile Selassie being God, right? In fact, this is what they even call him, the power of the Trinity. Haile Selassie, power of the Trinity. This is what we have here, brother. If you could probably get a close-up of this. The power of the Trinity. This is what they call it. does Holy Scriptures make